Guys, Ben Wheeler, the Mercenary King, here with an updated Gear Chronicle deck. I'm only going to do 3 decks today, I think. I got my Neo Nectar deck also prepared. Basically, I made a Ride Chain crossover dragon focused Chronojet deck. And, I hope you guys enjoy it. This is, by the way, I believe that looking at the abilities, the changes between the ride chains and between the last ride chain we had, which was basically 4.5, and these, I believe that these are probably to be considered 5.0 if they ever make any more ride chains similar to this one. There are enough differences in how the ride chain functions, as well as the pluses and advantages that you can get from it, that I think that it's its own thing. Anyway, so let's get started. The starter is Chick-Folk Dragon. When Smart Fender rides this unit, look at 7 cards from the top of the deck, search for a Gray Exhaust or a Thrall Caliber Dragon, reveal it, put it into your hand, shuffle deck. If this doesn't ride it, you pull it back. It's got Forerunner. TikTok, basically, you put it on here, top 7, blah, blah, blah. You want to keep him in soul as much as possible because he does cause some things to function differently, like this guy. However, once you don't need his defense anymore, he does do stuff. TikTok Worker, put this unit into the soul, G-Break 1, auto, time leap. Rear guard, at the end of battle, this unit, your other rear guard attacked, pay the cost if you do time leap. And that's it. It's got Forerunner too, but you can't use it as a starter. You're only restricted to 1. Basically, I use him for more attacks of interesting ways. Steam Battler, Dasig, I run 7 crit. Doesn't really matter. I don't have any of the TikTok Workers, so I don't use TikTok Workers. I also don't want to spend the money on them. 4 heals. Urluru, best girl. Urwatar, just one of, as is required. As is tradition. Auto GB1, put this unit bottom of the deck. When this unit is put in the bind zone from rearguard circle, in other words, if it is sent there from Time Leap or anything else. By the way, also if you bind it for new Batama skills, interestingly enough. Pay the cost, put this unit bottom of the deck. If you do top 2, draw 2, choose a card from your hand, return it to the deck, shuffle deck. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. It's advantage. That's why you play it. Auto rearguard once per turn. G-Break 1. When your opponent's rearguard is put into his or her deck to the effect of one of the cards, choose one of your other units. And it gets plus 10k until end of turn. If you do, return this unit to the deck, shuffle deck. Basically, I use this to boost up some of my abilities and give my rearguard some little extra oomph. Because I focus on Chronojet and the Ride Chain and Crossover Dragon, this 10k does do a lot of work. However, weirdly, I don't get to Crossover Dragon too much. It's strange. Smart Fender Dragon. When it rides Chick-Folk, and if Chick-Folk is in the soul while this is in Vanguard or Rearguard Circle, if it's Vanguard Circle, it gets plus 3k, so it is a 9k defense instead of the usual 8k. And then continuous Rearguard, if you have Chick-Folk Dragon in their soul, this unit gets plus 1k in a grade. So basically, it becomes a grade 2, which activates certain abilities based on the combos within the ride chain. I run 1 Steam Breath Dragon, signed, gold, of course. And then I run 3 Melms. Melms is when this G-Break 1, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, plus 4k until end of battle. If you do it at the end of battle, return this unit to the deck. Shuffle your deck for 1 grade 0, tapped, shuffle deck. Basically, if you swing like this, 16k, you search for both a grade 2 and a grade 0. I have it in there because it's a good grade 1 attacker, and there really isn't too much I want to do for it else at this time, because I do want to put aggression into this deck. Now, technically, we run 4 Steam Arlems, but I don't have them all yet. I do like the new art better. Basically, this unit can't be attacked. If there's a copy of her in the soul, in the drop zone, you want to flip a damage. Gray Exhaust Dragon. This is the grade 2. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, choose a Smart Fender, this guy. Call it to rearguard tapped. And then as auto, time leap, counterblast 1. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, or rearguard circle from hand, pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your other grade 2 rearguards, like this guy, time leap it into a grade 3, Gray Thrall Caliber. Yeah, part of the ride chain. Sure, it doesn't get the 10k defense, but it does let you get a free Counter Blast 1 Time Leap early on, which can be pretty deadly. I still run 3 Steam Knight Calibums, which is when this unit is placed on rearguard, choose an opponent's rearguard, stick it at the bottom of the deck. They can search the deck for a grade -1 of that card. So if it's a 0, it's a -1, 1, it's 0, so on and so forth. I'm kind of considering moving him down and producing more of these, but we'll see. Upstream Dragon. Auto Rearguard GB1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have 4K, plus 4K until end of battle. If you do that, at the end of battle, return this unit to the deck, shuffle your deck, search for a grade 1 tap, shuffle your deck. Basically, I use it to get Smart Fenders out, as well as Mellums for the next turn. You know, he does work with TikTok Worker as before, though there's less reason of it. Lastly, Linear Feed Dragon. Rearguard, when this unit attacks Vanguard, if you have Grey Exhaust Dragon on the Vanguard or... Oops. There we go. Grey Exhaust Dragon, Vanguard, or Soul. This unit gets plus 2k until end of battle. Act, Rearguard, once per turn, choose 2 Chronojet cards from your card name, reveal them, return them to your deck, shuffle deck, draw 2 cards. Basically, this deck will let you draw a lot of Chronojets. Just randomly. And it is worth it to... switch them out. That's it. You know, unless you turn grade 3s into guard. That's what it is. Throttle Caliber Dragon. By the way, when you Time Leap this guy, you should Time Leap it into a Throttle Caliber. Vanguard. When this unit attacks, it's a Vanguard. Search your deck for 1 card with Chronojet. Write it, tapped, shuffle deck. Auto Rearguard. When this unit attacks, it's a Vanguard. If you have Grey Exhaust Dragon on the Vanguard or in Soul, you may return this unit to the hand. Basically, it's free grade 3s. 4 Chronojet Dragon. GB Reg 2. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, can't call grade 1s or greater from hand to G, and it gets plus 5k. As well as Vanguard tap, Counter Blast 1 when your G unit strides. Your opponent puts a unit at the bottom of the deck. I'm thinking of switching out him for 1 more of Chronojet G. During your turn, for every 2 face-up cards in your G zone, this unit gets plus 5k, and all your Zodiac Time Beast Rearguards gets plus 1k. Do I have Zodiac Time Beast Rearguards? No. Nope. Then Auto Time Leap Vanguard. When this Gear Dragon or Zodiac Time Beast G unit strides, choose 1 card from your hand, call it to Rearguard. Choose 1 Rearguard and Time Leap. You do up to 1 card. You do not have to put anything down for his ability, but you can Time Leap just about anything here. Most of the strides in this deck. 1, 2. Hold on. Gear Dragon. Gear Dragons. Gear Dragons. Gear Dragons. Gear Dragons. Alright, so I have 3 Gear Beasts and the rest are Gear Dragons. My stride zone, so that's real simple. And you do want to make sure that you're time leaping into something that you'll actually use. G-Guard wise, I use 2 Lurus. When this unit is placed on G, choose 1 normal unit and 1 trigger unit from the drop zone, put them in the bottom of the deck. If 2 cards were put, this unit gets plus 5k shield. Yay! And then I have 2 Arlems, 1 SP. Choose 2 total from cards in total from your hand, drop zone with Chronojet and their different card names. Reveal them, put them in the bottom of the deck in any order. Basically, let's say that you discard like these for strides, except for not Throttle Caliber Dragon. You basically turn them into 15k shields, because that's what you get. It's a 30k shield here. If you have 2 Chronojets and stuff like that. Discarding it from hand is worth living, especially if you're stuck with them. I'll save these for the end. 2 Ragnarok Dragons. Counter Blast 1, flip over a Ragnarok. Opponent cannot call grade 0s from hand to G, and they get a crit if it's G break 2. Time Warp Dragon. Warp Drive Dragon. I like these better than the whole next stage Gear Groovy stuff. This is a different build than that deck. So you run this instead. That sort of thing. Act, Vanguard, once per turn. Time Leap, Counter Blast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose a face down card from your G zone, turn it face up. Choose same number of Rearguards as the number of face up Warp Drive Dragons in your G zone. Time Leap them. Choose one of your opponent's Rearguards grade less than or equal to the number of cards Time Leap with this effect. And your opponent grade less than, puts it in the bottom of the deck. Basically, it's a -1 to your opponent, and then you Time Leap as many cards as you need to. However, this deck does kind of use a bit of soul, and there's no way to really get it back because it don't run TikTok workers. So you do want to be careful with using this guy, as well as the counterblasts are kind of slim too. You know, you do want to save counterblasts for the main guy, which is Crossover Dragon. But this does start the time leaping shenanigans. 1 Fate Rider Dragon. Act Vanguard once per turn. Choose one of your rear guards, put a bomb in the deck. Search for a deck 1 card greater than a unit, call it to rear guard. This does not count as a time leap, just saying. Shuffle your deck, choose one of your units for each face-up card in your G-zone, and they get plus 3k. So basically, I think you can choose like the same for each face-up card. I don't know. I think you can keep choosing or something like that. I can't really remember. But basically, this is there for when I want to. Upheaval Pegasus. When this is placed on Vanguard Circle, if you have a heart with Chronojet, the opponent puts all of his or her rear guards in the bottom of the deck. And then for each card put with this effect, opponent calls the top card of the deck to open R. Basically, I use this to shatter an opponent's field and mess with it. However, you do want to be careful. Some rear guards and whatnot will cause abilities to happen. And when that happens, it can be bad, especially if you're facing Gold Paladin. Fiery March Colossus. I love this guy. Auto Vanguard, Counterblast 1, choose a rear guard, put a bomb in the deck. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, pay the cost. Choose an opponent's rear guard. Your opponent puts it to bomb in the deck. Until end of turn, your opponent cannot call cards with the same. Until end of that battle, the opponent cannot call cards same grade as that card put on the bottom of the deck with this effect from hand to G. Basically, this guy can prevent perfect shields from hand. And that's good. It helps you win games. Not much else to say about him other than he does that. You do want to be careful about the minuses. Metallica Phoenix. Choose a face down card in G-zone, turn it face up. When this unit attacks the Vanguard, if you have a heart with Chronojet, pay the cost if you do choose a Vanguard rear and time leap. Basically, it's a time leap. I do flip over usually a Warp Drive Dragon or something. You know, just because. Finally, Interdimensional Dragon, Crossover Dragon. Act Vanguard GB3, Counterblast 2. If you have a heart with Chronojet, see the pattern here. Choose 2 cards with Chronojet. Search your deck for 2 cards with Chronojet and their different card names. Call them a separate rear guard. Until end of turn, they get. It's an act. Choose another of your rear guards with Chronojet in his card name. Put that unit in this. Put this unit and the chosen unit into your soul. When this unit attack hits a Vanguard, pay the cost if you do stand all your Vanguards. Basically, when you play him, you counterblast 2. You summon out 2 Chronojets with different names. Boop. And then you swing. And you boost them and all that jazz. I'm actually considering running different boosters and stuff like that for it. This is kind of a first draft of the deck. It is a lot of fun. But basically when it does that, this restands and you swing again. Now, I'm sure that there are ways to get Chronojets back. However, I have not decided how I want to do that yet, as well as what sort of design I want to do. However, I am enjoying this as it is now. I think I'll be running less Caliban and more of these, that sort of thing. An Upstream Dragon doesn't really do work. So I'm going to be figuring out what I can do here to really make the deck pop, as well as kind of make things harder on my opponent, like, because there are ways to like attack from the back row and whatnot. And so I'm seeing if there's some ways I can use like TikTok Worker, Upstream Dragon, and others to really hit History Maker, maybe. To really hit really good numbers, as well as sort of get multiple Chronojets go around. Basically, I'm really sort of tied. I think I'm going to turn these into, if it wasn't for the 10k, I might turn these into draw triggers just so I can not waste a Vanguard attack. But then again, 2 Vanguard attacks is just so fine. And you're not going to have rearguards anyway, so I don't know. I'm probably going to turn these into draws and crits. Probably. After some more testing. But for now, the design's working just fine. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to show off a little combo real quick. So basically, you got this guy. Pulled him out. Put him in soul. There's the... Put this guy in soul. Basically, this is what your stuff should look like going into grade 3. So you swing, you hit, you search out a Chronojet. Right now I'm experimenting with Chronojet Dragon G. Boop, boop. Hold on, let me just check something real quick. Yeah, they both get it. So, like, the only problem with this guy is that he works only on the stuff that you pulled from deck. So you kind of have to... Yeah, kind of have to do it from there. But basically summon him. You time leap something into a grade 2. Like, say... And this all happened earlier, like before. Time leap this into a certain grade 2. Namely, this. Whoops. Yeah, no, can't do that, really. Well, yeah. I don't know. Point is, let's say that we don't have Chick Folk Dragon in Soul, because we Soul Blasted it with good old Time Warp Dragon. There, Warp Drive Dragon. Let's do the Time Warp again. So this is now counting as a grade 1 instead of a grade 2. There we go. I figured it out, guys. Because you do get Soul just from his ability. So you Time Warp him into this one. Let's say you have 2 Chronojets in hand with different names. You know, you send it back in, you draw 2, you're guaranteed to get this guy off. And that's kind of the big combo. I still haven't figured out how to get these to working too well, but Calibum is in there somewhere for a reason. I am considering replacing the Melms with the grade 1 version of it. There's just so much stuff I can work with this deck, and so many choices, that it's really hard for me to get the combos down. But basically everything works together somehow, and I've not been really sad with the design and the working together. And that's the important thing, really. I haven't been enjoying Chronojet Dragon or even other Gear Chronicle decks for a while. But, you know, this is actually making me enjoy it. And I really hope you guys enjoy it too. It's actually kind of a budget build compared to like fucking Gigaruby and Next Stage. So, anytime it's a budget, it's a good decision. Been Wheel of the Mercenary King. Be sure to come to the May 20th IYG stand-up series. It's going to be fun.